Sentimental Value, directed by Josh and Trier, and stars Renata Reinsve, Stellan Skarsgård, and Elle Fanning. The film tells a story about an estranged father and film director who attempts to reconnect with his two daughters the only way he knows how, through his own passions of filmmaking. I had no idea what to expect going into this film. I knew it was going to be a drama. I knew it was not going to be the most bombastic movie ever. But I knew that it was probably going to touch on a lot of deep themes about reconnecting with your family and trying to find forgiveness in each other. And while I did get that, I've also found a film that I honestly can actually feel I could see myself in a little bit. And if you don't know me, and this is the first video you ever saw me in, I was a film major. I studied film for 5 years in Georgia State University and have been doing my best to try and navigate my way through the film world, trying to find some projects. And one of the fears that I've personally had whenever it came to filmmaking, despite my love for movies, is losing those around me due to my passions, and how film can take up so much of your time away from your family, but how, if you're able to use that passion to be able to find a way to reconnect with your own family in a personal way, is something that this film explores. And I honestly felt like the film spoke to me in such a personal level, to where, admittedly, I have a bit of a bias based on that. I thought the overall story and themes were really relatable for me personally, and the film really did touch me. But judging the film on its own merits, I still think it is a really good movie. I thought all the performances all across the board were fantastic, especially the two lead performances of Renata Reinsve and the lady who plays her sister. Those two actresses do an incredible job. They felt like genuine, real people going through a tough part of their life due to the fact that their estranged father is trying to reconnect with them. They hold a lot of resentment, but they're still trying to push forward, trying to live the best life. However, Renata Reinsve's character is having a tougher time because she's always felt like she was the outcast, the one who's the most fucked up, the one who probably is left out a lot. And while she is there for her family, she doesn't feel like she is worth much of anything. And oftentimes that really affects her and a lot of her relationships around her. Now, in Stellan Skarsgård's case, as the director, the father, he is also incredible, by the way. I loved his performance in the film, and I would honestly say that he's probably my favorite Best Supporting Actor nominee here. He gives such a nuanced, genuine performance that is very much quiet, but he always commands the screen. His character is someone who is trying to deal with the fact that his daughters want nothing to do with this movie he's making, but he made it so personally for them as a way of apology for any misdeeds that he's done in the past. And how his character and Elle Fanning's character grow together throughout the course of the film, and how Elle Fanning's character is trying to understand this role, but she feels like she isn't really right for the part, and how she often tries to get personal with Stellan Skarsgård's character to try and understand what he's going for, but she could only really understand so much. But she does understand that this movie is just way too personal for this director that she's working for, and so that conflict within her grows throughout the course of the film, and I really like how that developed her and got us to know this character as someone who is genuinely caring and understanding of others. You would think that a character like this would probably be self-centered and will try to do their best to try and win the part, but instead she understands that this film is personal for someone, and how her character grows from that really did surprise me and got me to be endeared with her character a lot and sympathize with Skarsgård's character as a father who is doing his best in a very tough situation, and how all these characters try to deal with this film in particular and what it could mean for each of them, I thought was really engaging all throughout. As it's about people trying to reconnect with others, trying to hold on to whatever memories they have for one another. That is good, but it's tough because there are so many memories in this specific house that the film is taking place in that holds a lot of good memories, but holds a lot of dark memories as well, and a lot that overshadows sometimes the good aspects of each of these characters' lives that lived here in this house. And I really like how the whole film, despite being about making a movie, is really about people trying to reconnect with each other's memories, try to hold on to whatever is left that's good, and trying to hold on to that love for one another, and just how strong they are when they do so. And the whole film really revolves around that theme of reconnection and forgiveness, and I think it was all done supremely well. The film is a bit long in the tooth, and sometimes it can drag a tiny bit, but I love how the movie is able to linger on all these quiet moments, show us all of these memories and everything these characters have been through. The beginnings of this house, especially the house is a character in and of itself. There's so much personality, so much storytelling to be shown here, given how this is basically a generational trauma kind of film as we explore the generations of people that have lived here and how that connects to these characters' lives now. I think it was all done really well, and the writing was able to connect all these storylines very perfectly into something that feels simple, yet feels bigger than anything the characters could imagine. I thought Sentimental Value was a really touching movie. The performances were great, the directing was delicate and quiet, but it was the perfect kind of directing that this movie needed. It needed to linger on these quiet moments. It needed to suck you into the atmosphere and what the characters are feeling in real time and understand their emotions in that way. And by the film's ending, you feel like you truly went through an emotional journey with each of these people, and you feel like there is a sense of hope for them. I thought Sentimental Value was honestly great, and I'm going to give it an A. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.